Hey guys, so today is going to be a fun plant chores day. I have plants I need to propagate and I thought I would take you along with me. So let's get started. I want to show you basics here. So I'm thinking maybe you're new to my channel, maybe you're new to plants and you don't even know what propagating means. If you do, then just listen anyway. You want to get a pair of scissors and you want to get some rubbing alcohol, some isopropyl alcohol. You just want to take a little bit of that, sanitize your scissors really, really well. You want to do this in between plants, just in case your plant has a disease. I don't think any of mine, they're pretty healthy. They're actively growing. I don't see any pests of any kind, but you never know. So you want to sanitize your cutting method, whether it's a knife, scissors, whatever. So we're going to start with my Monstera Peru. This plant, I actually just loosened this little pole that I have it on. This plant has been growing a lot for me lately. It didn't put out any new growth when I got it. And then all of a sudden, it just shot out all this new growth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you where a node is and I'm gonna snip it and propagate it and we're gonna put it in some water. And it's as simple as that. And then I'll do the other ones and maybe we'll just kind of speed through it so I don't bore you to death. But okay. So here, you want to determine where you want to make your cut. I'm thinking I'm going to make my cut right here, and you want to make sure you make a cut right below the node. Now this node is a little piece, a little nub that sticks out at the base of the leaf. And now that is what is going to grow a root. So you got to make sure that that node is submerged in water. So always cut below the node. And I think I'm going to cut it right here because I have some new growth up top here, and then this other section of this plant has some new growth here too. Look at how beautiful this leaf is. Oof, so pretty. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna cut it right there. And I'm gonna try to do this while lifting this up and showing you on camera. Okay, so you wanna just get right under that node there. Snip. Oof, that was cutthroat. Okay, so now we have a cutting and we have propagated a Monstera Peru. Now see this node right here? That. Now there's a leaf attached to that. In some circumstances, you may lose this leaf because you're going to want to submerge that node in water. Some people actually just pop it off so they can just bypass that. And I think that's what I'm going to do. We have a little bit of some damage here that's just not cute. So I'm just going to literally pop that leaf off and that goes in the trash. And now we have an exposed node here that we can just submerge in water. That will grow roots. It will. Now Monstera Peru sometimes are difficult to propagate in water. You can propagate them in perlite, sphagnum moss. They tend to do better in those. But for right now, I'm just gonna pop this into a little jar of water. I'm at my sink, so I have water near me. And I just use sink water, you guys. Ta-da! Now sometimes you can dip the tip of your cutting into some rooting hormone. That works. You can also add a little bit of Super Thrive to your water. That works too. I'm doing an experiment here. I'm gonna just propagate a whole bunch of plants and I'm gonna see what water does for them and see how fast they root up within a week. So we're gonna do an update on this in a week, which is fun. All right, now let's speed through the rest of this. All right, guys, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plants I propagated. And some of the bigger ones that you noticed had those long aerial roots, those will continue to grow. Technically, you should be able to put those in soil right away, but I like to have them grow just a little bit more before I put them in soil, because you're shocking the plant already by propagating it. You're chopping that off. So it's a little scary, and you just want to make sure that it continues to grow while it's in a little bit of rehab. And then you just pop it back in soil or leca, whatever your medium is, and that's pretty much it. So I really hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna do a once over and show you all the plants I propagated, and then we'll check back on these in 1 week. So next Friday, which is next Friday? No, it's not. It's not the end of Vlogmas. We have a while to go, but we'll check back in next Friday. Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick little update on my propagation boxes that I have going on. Let me go grab those and show you what I have going on in there. All right, here is my first one. Now this is just a little Tupperware container. There are some air pockets in here. It's not sealed airtight, but it's closed just enough to maintain some moisture in here, which is really nice. Oh, and look what we have. We have some fungal growth in there. Do you guys see that? This is a new mushroom. So this spag must be happy. But what we have in here is we have some growth that's happening. Now these are my pastazanums that I got a while back in February. And they came to me beautifully, but they died. I think I killed them. I think I put them in leca. They were not happy. So I cut them down to pretty much nothing besides one pretty sad leaf. And they started growing in weird. Like they had like some weird new growth coming in. There were sections that were, I don't know if you can see that, but they were like split leafed, not the good kind. And I just didn't know what was going on with them. So I popped them in some sphagnum moss. Since then, look at these new leaves. How beautiful is that? There's 2 separate plants in here, and they are just growing so beautifully. I'm so happy with how this is looking. I think I might be able to take these out of here soon and pot them up. But what to pot them in? I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with soil. Now, here is my Syngonium Wendlandii, and it had a leaf in there that was not doing very well. It ended up falling off. This was the only leaf left on it, so I cut it down, I left that leaf on there, I made sure there was a node, popped it in some moist sphagnum here in the corner, and it just put out this little baby leaf. How cute is that? I mean, I love having grow boxes like this because you can put multiple plants together, obviously making sure that there's no pests happening in there. And they'll grow together. I have a Micans in here that wasn't doing very well in leca. I don't think it likes leca, believe it or not. But it recently just shot off these new leaves, and I think it's time to pot that up into some soil. So pretty happy grow box here. I have to get rid of this leaf, which is rotted. That was one of the oldest leaves on that pastazanum. But pretty cool that there's a mushroom in there. And there's also some aerial roots on this Micans here. Can you see that right there? It's so moist in this box that it's growing aerial roots. This is so fun. I love looking at this. Okay, we're gonna close it up. I have 2 other smaller containers to show you. One is my Anthurium regale that I got a few months ago. Ooh, pop this open. Same situation with this. It was on its like last leg. It did not look like it was doing good, but I noticed it still had a pretty nice node. It had some roots left on it. It doesn't even need to have a leaf, and we'll talk about that when we get into the next box. But I popped it in some spag, and this was the oldest leaf. You could see it was kind of yellowing. It popped out a new leaf here that looks very happy, and then I see another one coming in down there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. And I'm really excited about this. I'm gonna leave this in here for some more time because these leaves get really big, and I think it's just too tiny yet to pot up. So that'll live in there for a little while. But now, you guys, I've had a Monstera elbow node in this box for over 6 months now. And I just checked it the other day. Actually, I have 2 of them in here. And I just checked this the other day, and look at this. it has a new growth point. Now clearly this was just a stick. This is called a wet stick. When you propagate just a stick with a node, it had no leaves on it. The only leaf it had fell off, and a growth point formed, and it's pushing out a new leaf. Now this is gonna take some time, but I bet you I'll have a Monstera elbow in 2021, and I'm really excited. And then I also have this one here, which had this growth point for forever. I think I got this one back in May, like right around my birthday. And it had this root on it that wasn't doing much. See this root here? And this is an old aerial root that dried up. And it had this node, but it's recently started pushing through. And that's gonna be a new leaf. So I might have 2 elbows. All because I saved a piece of the plant. When you think that there's no other option and it has no leaves, doesn't necessarily mean it's dead. You can always try to propagate this way. And all this is a plastic container, and it's not airtight, like I said. These are from the Container Store. You just you moisten the sphagnum moss. All that's in here is sphagnum moss, that's it. Moisten it, bury your aerial root or your node or whatever is on there. I pretty much buried the entire stick here, and then place the cover on there and just kind of wait. Open the box up maybe once every week or 2 just to kind of get a little bit of airflow in there, and you should grow a plant. Very impressed with those, very impressed. I've never done it before. This is my first time doing it, but like I said, I started it earlier, so I'm just really happy that I stuck with it, didn't give up, and it's going good. All right guys, thank you for joining me in this propagation video. I hope maybe I taught you something, or if you already know about propagation, I hope you had fun watching me chop all my plants up. I'm very anxious about my Thai constellation. Fingers crossed, we'll see how that does. But we'll see you next Friday with an update on these, and then I'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys. Hold up.